Welcome everyone to the Nerd Nook. I'm your host, Evan Teak, and with me like always is the man who was announced as the final Smash character for Super Smash Bros. Ultimate for Nintendo Switch, Noah Bailey.
Yes. They said it couldn't happen. They said there's no way Disney would do it.
Sakurai himself even admitted it was impossible for the longest time, but then all of a sudden they're like, yeah, we'll let you. Like,
they said, oh my god, I thought it was fake. Not even kidding. I totally thought it was fake.
Sora from Kingdom Hearts is finally in Smash Bros.
The legend himself. Oh,
another stupid anime sword fighter, but I'm over it.
This stupid anime sword fighter is my childhood, so he gets a pass immediately. Yeah. But man, oh man. First of all, this got spoiled for me because I was goofing off at work. Mm-hmm. It was just, you know how you can like scroll like on Microsoft Edge when the new tab just has news stories or whatever?
Yeah.
I just had a new tab open and it was like newest Smash character is all this, and I was like, what the? Oh my god! I was like, is this real?
Yeah, it's real.
So I'm like, I was like, what in the world? I was like, are you kidding me? I'm like, I told you, I'm like, did you see this? He's like, what? And he's like, oh my god, I know. So then I had to take a break out of nowhere and watch the thing, and oh my gosh, dude, I was just like, no way. Yeah, then I watched the trailer, the review video, bro, when that simple and clean hit, oh my goodness, dude, I was like,
was the Mario like grabbing the Keyblade out of the fireball, was that a reference to anything, or is it just a thing for the trailer?
As far as I know, I think that was just a thing for the trailer, because I didn't recognize that either, because I didn't know what was going on. But then, it comes out, it's like, I was like, oh, and it's got the Mickey keychain, but.
Yeah, I assume all of the fighters essentially reverting to their statue form, and then Sora coming in and like unlocking them as like kind of a
sort of. Yeah, there's some parallel to that somewhere, but to be honest, all of it makes no sense anyway. So I'm just gonna assume that made sense, but I don't know. It was really cool though, because Sora comes out, he's got Keyblade, and I love they've got the different costumes from different worlds he's been in, and they've got the Timeless River Steamboat Willie level. Willie. Oh, and I was like, oh, they had that one.
That so good.
It's I was interested because I thought they were it looks like they have the Kingdom Hearts 1, 2, and 3 costumes, Steamboat Willie, and then the different dry forms, which is his different power suits or whatever. Which is because I know I saw Wisdom form, but it was I thought they were gonna just do different levels, Monsters Inc. from Kingdom Hearts 3 or Halloween Town from 1 and 2 and stuff like that, because those are kind of iconic. I don't know, I don't think I saw all of them, but it looks awesome. It looks really good. The reveal trailer was really cool. I was loving life. It goes without saying, but that's the only character I'm gonna be playing as for the
next. You're dropping Link.
I'm not dropping Link, but until I get to the point with Sora that I have basically got on the same level that I play as with Link, that's who I'm gonna be playing with, just because I need this.
Yeah.
And this is, because again, for Smash, a lot of the games I've kind of played or dabbled in. I have played all of these games. So if there was ever a character that I could put everything into, it was this one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. And I was kind of joking earlier about him just being, a generic anime sword fighter, but I really like the way he plays. Outside of Bayonetta, there isn't really another character that focuses on aerial combos. So him having aerial combos for days was so fun to watch.
It's gonna be so rage quit causing, but so great, because it's gonna be just one, which is really funny because in the game, aerial combat is like most of the combat. So like
Yeah.
it makes sense because you have specific, launching moves, you have different jumps and combos in the air, and you can like combo off magic and then hit them more. And like in Kingdom Hearts 3, you're basically in the air the entire game. So
yeah,
it's aptly done, but it looks, and like some of these, like some of those combos look sick too. And I was like,
yeah,
ooh.
like you can literally come back from the abyss using his up B and forward B combos. Like,
Yep.
yeah, and they said that I think he's the lightest fighter. I think he's even lighter than Isabel. So
Really?
yeah, I think actually Pichu might be the current lightest. They didn't. I don't think they said. Maybe it's really. Regardless, he's one of the lightest characters, if not the lightest.
Okay.
So it's probably a thing where like, yes, he is super aerial heavy and his moves are very strong, but if you can just combo him a couple of times, then he's going to be watched. But
yeah,
got to get there first.
Right. But yeah, but that's so cool how they did that too. And also like it depend, I guess, like what am I trying to say? I think it's interesting that he's lighter though, because it's like, I mean, granted, he's a kid, but like, you know what I mean? But like, I guess it kind of makes sense. But I don't know. I see it more.
What was I gonna say? I love the like Sakurai admitting that Sora was the most requested fighter back in Smash for Wii U. Because like I know they said that I think at the time Bayonetta was essentially the ballot entry in Smash 4. Like there was this big like survey that went out that everyone was able to vote on different characters they wanted. They said that she was, if not the top, the like top 3 for every region. So apparently Sora was the most requested, probably right. Japan fronting the load of a lot of that, but still like like it really just kind of felt like the perfect culmination for the Fighter Pass Season 2, because essentially this seemed to be all of the kind of like all the characters that Sakurai kind of always wanted to get in since the original roster was announced, because at the time of development of Smash Ultimate, he couldn't quite get in anyone from ARMS or Xenoblade 2, and then this Smash got 2 of those characters in. It just makes sense that Sephiroth is in here because Cloud's in there, so why not? Steve from Minecraft is a character he's wanted since Smash for Wii U, but he just couldn't get it to work until now. And Sora is Sora, so like it wasn't necessarily my most anticipated character, but it's one that just feels right as the culmination for the entire roster.
Yeah, and just it helps round it out too. And also like like you said, like especially with like, they already have Cloud, and Sephiroth, who are both in Kingdom Hearts games as well as their respective Final Fantasy games. So like it kind of makes sense that you could still make that, that's not like a giant jump in that aspect at least. And also, you gotta, not that there's already 80 something characters, so it's like, why not?
89 if you include Pyramithra and then the 3 Pokemon.
Good gracious. But yeah, this is awesome. Like I'm just really I'm stoked, honestly. It's just as for every game I played between this character and like all the Mega Man games I played over the years, like Mega Man and then like Sora have been the most played characters in my life, so it's a pretty big deal that they're not both in Smash. But this is a big one for me.
Oh yeah, like I was hyped for you over this. Yeah, and Sora is coming to Smash on October 18th, so we'll see if he's actually as broken as he looks. But like,
you better be.
We already have people like Hero and Joker and other DLC characters that are already super broken and they haven't really fixed, so why not have him also be stupid OP? Why not?
Yeah, and it's like This one is kind of like, yeah, it kind of just feels like, because at this point, all the characters are kind of like they're adding a pretty, ridiculous. So it kind of makes sense that, like, yeah, yeah, sure, why not make him like right? Because he has, obviously he's a sword character. He had kind of like Hero. He has like different magics and things he can use too. So like, yeah, sure, why not?
Yeah, but it's just gonna be so bittersweet going into the next Nintendo Direct and not expecting a Smash reveal, like knowing that there's no more, at least as far as the Switch goes. Like for at least probably 3 years from now, maybe we could start expecting a new Smash reveal. But as of right now, there's a new Direct in December or January. We can't like look forward to a new Smash reveal, and that's just gonna be a weird feeling.
Yeah. And not to mention the music too from Kingdom Hearts that's also going to be added to the like ridiculous soundtrack that's already exists. So it's like,
yeah,
some of these are like my favorite songs in anything ever. So I'm just like, yeah, am I going to be spamming the same 5 songs whenever I play? Absolutely. But
I mean, I literally turned off every other song that isn't One Winged Angel on the 2 Final Fantasy stages.
As it should be. So perfect.
So obviously, no one who was championing Sora expected Donald, Goofy, or any other Disney character to actually be a part of his move set or spirit list or whatever. But given, obviously you played every single game, do you think they did a decent enough job representing how he plays in the games without having like Disney representation?
Yeah, I think everything was good because again, like you said, the moves, especially the air combat, is very game accurate. Because most people I know who play the game, they're in the air the whole time, pretty much when you're fighting somebody, because it's just easier. And then, as far as just like how it has the magic sets that are because that's a big part of it too. It's almost better than attacking because he has the big 3 with thunder, fire, and blizzard. So like those are the main ones from all the games. And then yeah, I mean even the final Smash is like very like relevant because that's like the main plot point of the thing. Seal him up. I'm like, oh, I'm just gonna put him in the Door of Darkness. No big deal. He'll be fine. Like he can get out probably after 1,000 years or something. Yeah. So
my guess is that that's going to be one of the final Smashes where if they're over like 90 or 100%, they just die instantly, like Ridley or Zelda's. But they didn't confirm that. But that's just what I hope happens. This feels right.
Yeah. It'll just and I mean it's one of those where like I definitely want to try it for myself and see how effective it is, or if it can get multiple shots or anything like that. But like it is very like apt because that's the whole like because it was even in the trailer where they keep it like shoot the little ray of light and then just opens or whatever. So like yeah, I like it. I would have maybe if it was like one of his like limits in the game, that would have also been really cool because there's a couple where he has like solo limits that are really powerful too. But I mean, I'm not gonna complain by any means.
Yeah. So yeah, that's just it. Smash is done. Sora's in it.
Yeah.
Like Sakurai, take a break.
Yeah, seriously, take a bow, my friend. Like that is you have blessed us all.
Because he's been working on Smash stuff pretty much nonstop since 2012, 2011, maybe.
Probably
Smash
11
4 came out in 20.
Go ahead.
Because Smash 4 came out in 2014.
Right.
It was announced in 2011, so probably started late 2011, early 2012. And then very shortly after the final Smash character for Smash Ultimate, Bayonetta, came out. He started development back in 2016. He then started development on Ultimate and that came out in 2018. So he's been working on Smash straight for like 10 years.
Yeah, I mean, I think he's earned himself, rest for days now. Because again, like, I mean, honestly, you don't really need to add anyone. Like, will the next Smash have a bunch more characters? Yes. but like, does it need it? No. What?
Yeah.
Why put a limit on it? Because there will be a Crash Bandicoot one day, probably more than likely. So like,
at some point, literally every video game character ever will be on in Smash Bros.
Pretty much,
Not yet.
Yeah, the character select screen is gonna have to be able to like flip. They're gonna make it a 2-pager pretty soon. They're gonna have to, because like you can't even see people back. Like every time I try to get Link, I have to like look up to the very top because it's so far down now, and it's just like, ugh.
Yeah. I still so wish you were able to organize them different ways by like franchise or just other different ways, or like, I don't know, because currently them being by release order is fine. It just, I want all the Mario characters together, all the Pokemon together, all the Zelda characters together. It's just a little weird to have.
Yeah, especially when there's a lot of franchises that have multiple characters.
Yeah,
just put them in their individual clusters, and then you can put kind of the strays in a cluster, kind of something like that.
Yeah, like all the Square Enix guys together, all the like fighter people together, all the
Fire Emblems and all the
like the weirdos like Wii Fit Trainer, Duck Hunt, and Mr. Game Watch, all their own little corner.
Oh, I forgot about Duck Hunt. Duck Hunt is great. The fact that that's a character is just the greatest thing. Like my dad would probably never play Smash, but if he did, I know he would immediately pick Duck Hunt.
Nice. It's one that I don't play that much, but like it's a fun character.
It's one of those characters for when you're just trying to have a good time.
Yeah.
At least with my level of skill, because I'm not that good to make Duck Hunt OP, but I'm sure plenty of people are.
I mean, every character, if like you get really good with them, you can pull off insane combos, but like I'm not capable of being that good with most characters. So I'm pretty decent with pretty much everybody, but Duck Hunt's one of those I play probably. He's probably like in the lower tier of characters.
Yeah, it would probably take a while.
Yeah. So yeah, October 18th is coming. Do you have a Switch?
No, not yet. I'm working on it now that I have income. But
yeah,
we will get there.
The Switch OLED comes out this Friday, along with Metroid Dread. Yeah,
that's right. It is October. That's right.
Yeah. So if you're gonna get a Switch, might as well get that one.
Yeah.
Okay. Moving on to, I guess, more Disney stuff, technically. So that lawsuit that Scarlett Johansson and Disney were doing because they decided that they weren't going to pay Scarlett as much money because it wasn't in her contract that streaming sales would go towards her payment for Black Widow.
Yeah.
Apparently, they settled that lawsuit out of court, which is kind of what I was expecting to happen. And Scarlett Johansson will essentially make over $40 million off the movie. So not the $50 million she was expecting, but more than the $15 million they were originally going to give her. So it's a win for her, I guess.
They were going to give her 15 out of what expecting 50. Oh,
yeah.
Like, granted,
I think that's what it was going to be. Yeah.
Yeah, like, granted, like, that's still a lot of money, especially for regular people. But like, that's like in perspective, that's not cool.
You're right.
Like, yeah, that in perspective, that's kind of horrible. But it's hard to be like, hey, they're shortchanged me when it's like 15 million's not enough. But at the same time, that's so not okay. But good for her.
She's been doing MCU stuff for 10 years. This is her first solo movie. Like, she deserved all the recognition and credit she could get.
So,
and she also made a statement where she was like, I'm also like, yeah, like, we ended this on good terms. I'm looking forward to working with Disney more in the future. Like, I'm sure you are.
It's like, it was in the closet. It's like a Flapjack thing where it's like, I was paid to say that.
Yeah. or not even like paid to say that. It's essentially if she doesn't say that, she can't work with a third of the industry.
Yeah.
So like
yeah.
like any Fox movie, any voice acting for any various different, animated movies potentially statistically would be in Disney movies. Like she has to say that just to be in good graces with not Monopoly, but pretty close.
I mean, technically no, but I think we all know better.
Yeah.
It may not be on paper, but I think in the real grand scheme, I think we all know Disney's got their puppet hands up everybody. You know what I mean? But good that she's getting more money that she deserves.
Yes. Yeah, I still firmly believe that she will not be in the MCU going forward. I think Natasha is just out of the MCU at this point.
Yeah.
But
especially with Yelena kind of being groomed to be, Black Widow too, more or less.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, unless Hawkeye kills her in the Hawkeye show, which I don't think will happen, but good. Speaking of Marvel projects, Marvel has confirmed that they have 32 projects currently in development.
Wow.
Whether that be shows, movies, etc.
That's a lot going on.
32.
32. How can anyone keep that straight? That's ridiculous.
Several spreadsheets. That's how.
Yeah. I'm just imagining the board with the timeline and constant erasing and wait, no, this needs to come after that because then when this happens, that'll set up this and that. But then that won't work because the multiverse will be there. But they bring back the multiverse here. But then you have to move that. And then stuff happens.
Yeah.
And then they fight or whatever.
So yeah, everyone who's like the MCU is dead after Endgame. No, it's not.
Simply a new chapter. There's so much more going on that it's and I think they're doing a really good job of just upping the ante of just everything with multiverse stuff because it's what's bigger than the destruction of the universe? Oh, I know. The destruction of two universes. You know what I mean? So that's kind of the only way to get bigger.
I mean, Ultron literally took a bite out of one entire universe in the previous What If episode.
Bro.
So
when he goes, spoilers for those who don't know, but when he's who said that? I was oh, I thought he was talking to me for a second. I was uh-oh. I was wait a minute.
I loved the Watchers being he grew omnipotent. He started he was narrating him finding out that he was talking to him.
Right.
But he just got so wrapped up on his own narration they didn't realize that he was
taking. What he's saying. He's he began omnipotent. He was hearing a random voice. Oh, wait a minute.
That's me.
He was ooh. I like how he just
shut. If he had just not talked, Ultron would have completed his mission. He might have self-destruct or logged off forever. He eradicated all of living things on this entire galaxy. He didn't need to function anymore. He completed his purpose. You could have just stopped there. No.
Oh, hello there.
But I was not expecting the Watcher to throw hands.
And throw them well he did too. That is what everyone I've talked to has said. Everyone was yo, did you know the Watcher had hands like that? I was I did not. Because there's a reason I assume there's a reason he was the Watcher, you know what I mean? Most of the time you're not, when you're just in narrating, you're usually not the one they come to when they have a problem. But Buddy was right. He said, here you see your way out, sir. But that was crazy. They were going at it too. Yeah, no, really, really, really good episode. Just Ultron just doing his thing, wiping out the universe, visiting planets, just wasting everyone.
And like he could have just snapped and just done it himself. Thanos literally said in Endgame he was gonna use the stones to literally create a new universe. He could do that with the stones. He wanted to do it himself.
Right? It's not the same. He wants the personal touch. It's like
yeah.
It's like it's like when it's like when a fisherman's like it tastes different when you work for your food. You know what I mean? Like he wants to be able to sit back and know like I did that. It wasn't the stones, it was me with the side. And yeah, he took no time either, just casually going around blowing up planets and whatnot.
Yeah.
I love the Thanos thing where Thanos he's just like,
look at that.
Yep.
Would prove that they definitely needed Vision to be nerfed in Infinity War for Thanos to even have a chance.
Well, that's kind of what I was thinking, because I was like, how did he made it look so easy.
Yeah, every time Thanos has shown up in What If so far, it's just for him to get beaten very easily.
I don't know if that's supposed to be like perspective or what, because I'm just like, come on, like why didn't anyone else could we have done that the whole time? That was all it took.
Yes. Like if Shuri had just stayed up in the tower, or if Wanda had just stayed up in the tower and not cared about everyone dying down there and helped Shuri fix Vision, would Vision have just won?
I doubt it, because he's still because when they were trying to still could have done something.
Yeah,
I guess, but I don't know. It's
that classic comic book thing where it's like the character is only is as strong as the story needs them to be. Like if Spider-Man and Hulk were fighting and the writer decided Spider-Man was going to win that fight, Spider-Man wins that fight. If they decide Hulk's going to win the fight, Hulk wins the fight. Like it doesn't,
Yeah, there's nothing really you can do about it. It's kind of just who's got the pen. That's the real ultimate weapon in the universe.
Yep. But in this episode, they decided that Ultron Vision was better than Thanos. So,
it's true.
Well, they're not gonna waste time having them fight. It would have been a very cool fight. Just
especially with 5 out of 6 stones too. That would have been pretty epic.
Yeah,
but that's okay. Because what I thought was gonna happen.
Sorry, go.
No, it's okay. I thought he was gonna have to do a Thanos and he was gonna go find him himself and find him and then eventually be like, oh, I want that.
Nope. Thanos
and then
just handed it to him on a silver platter.
Yeah, pretty much be Thanos, but just don't finish the job. Don't half do it. Just blow up a whole planet, because why leave it leaving half a planet kind of might as well just destroy the whole thing anyway.
So tomorrow's episode probably gonna be equally as good. And then What If season 2 is already confirmed.
Woo!
There's rumors that a Daredevil reboot with Charlie Cox is in the works. There's still rumors that he's going to be in Spider-Man No Way Home. That's yet to be confirmed, but could happen. And if they get Daredevil back, are they going to get the rest of the Hell's Kitchen people plus Punisher? Are they actually going to incorporate them into the MCU this time? They're just going to continue to do their own thing over there.
Just also exist.
We still have the X-Men to introduce, Fantastic Four, Squirrel Girl. We got
just waiting for Squirrel Girl to just one shot the entire universe one time.
Yes.
And everyone's gonna be like, we're just gonna all agree that didn't just happen. But yeah, that's gonna happen.
Mm. So yeah, 32 projects in active development, and I'm sure that's not all of it. I'm sure there's after those 32, there's going to be 30 some more.
This is gonna keep going until they just run out of stuff. I mean, which they won't, because
like what is the end point for the MCU? Like, let's assume we're 80 years old and the MCU, like the last MCU movie is actually coming out. What could possibly be the last MCU movie?
Spider-Man 2099. I don't know. I have no idea.
I mean, it has to be future stuff at that point.
Yeah. Well, I mean, would it even be future stuff at that point? Because wouldn't that be the present by then? Like,
yeah.
Because if we're gonna be that old, we'll be closing in on 2099 anyway. Yeah. So, wow. So I mean, if you think about it, kind of just like, oh yeah,
it's like
yeah. Because like the way I see it, because like they have Spider-Man now, he's gonna be in all these movies, but then eventually they're gonna do Miles Morales, and then he's gonna do the whole passing of the torch, and that's gonna be the new Spider-Man, just like he's the new Iron Man or whatever. So that's another whole. We might get
Ben Reilly and then
right.
To whoever else, I don't know.
He was the clone the entire time. Like, you know what I mean? That's gonna be a thing. And then like, yeah, you've got all that going on. You know, we don't even have, and then again, there's certain characters we don't even have yet. We don't, you know, we can go do that. We can go, you know, and that's just Spider-Man. Let alone like you know, other characters and
Fantastic Four has so many crazy villains like Galactus,
and
Dr. Doom.
X-Men alone can be its own franchise as we've seen. So like they've got all the time in the world.
They could retry doing the Inhumans.
Yeah.
Maybe don't, but they could try it.
Maybe don't, but like you could if that is on the table. Like there's so many options. That's the thing. It's like, I mean, this is comic books, man. Like, I mean, there's a million, like the source material is virtually endless anyway. So you kind of, I mean, will you eventually run out? Yes, but like at that point, you've made so much money. You should have quit like it'll be more logical for them to just stop before they actually run out of content.
Yes. Like my guess is that the majority of phase 4 will be either Kang stuff or like setting up the huge Avengers level Kang movie. I'm guessing like 2024, 2025. Because he's going to be in Ant-Man the Wasp. That's absolutely not going to be like the end of Kang. That's going to be like essentially his like real introduction a la Thor, like Loki in the first Thor and then showing up in Avengers. And then I don't know if Kang is necessarily going to be like a three phase arcing villain like Thanos was, but multiverse stuff I think kind of will be the through line for the next couple of phases. So with that logically ending in Secret Wars.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Yeah, dude, that would be so sick. You know that's what they have to be doing, because that's like the other humongous Marvel thing. So like
yeah, like it would suck a little bit if they followed closely to the comics. They would have to wait until that far in advance to give Spider-Man the black suit, but I think they would.
I mean, they're gonna do their own version of it, because I mean, even the Infinity Saga was kind of their version of it, because I mean that wasn't exactly comic accurate either. So
yeah, there were so many people upset that Adam Warlock didn't randomly show up and save the day. Like that's not the point. That's not what we're doing right now.
We'll get there.
Yeah, apparently someone like the coolest Marvel character ever is going to show up in the the Guardians of the Galaxy holiday special, according to James Gunn. He said his favorite Marvel character is showing up the character that he believes is the coolest Marvel character is showing up in Guardians holiday special. That could be Adam Warlock. That could be literally Santa Claus.
I want to say, knowing him, that's probably just Howard the Duck again. Like, I don't know. Like, James Gunn, I don't know. Like,
Santa Claus isn't. I think Santa Claus is actually a mutant in the.
I think that is right. Yeah. Yeah. I
I
always
wouldn't put
like
it past
that
James
because I
Gunn to
think
put it
in
in there.
DC too, like Santa. I don't know if Santa. I don't know about DC. I know something else. Santa's
Mhm.
like a real person.
Yeah.
I like when different universes do that, where like either like celebrities or like certain characters or figures are like because like I remember in Men in Black there was like a bunch of celebrities were just aliens, and it was kind
Mhm.
of like yeah I would totally believe like like yeah I could see him being an alien or something like that makes actually more
Mhm.
sense than them actually being human.
Yeah.
So like yeah, Santa Claus being a mutant makes total sense because
Mm.
how else does he go to every house on the planet in one night theoretically?
Yeah. So yeah, we have that to look forward to. Like the
Yeah.
yeah, Marvel's not quitting anytime soon.
No, there's too much.
Um, and neither is Disney on Disney with Star Wars stuff on Disney Plus either, because Book of Boba Fett has confirmed to be releasing on December 29th. So good to have a release date for that, December
Yeah.
29th. So yep.
It's like they're just sneaking in.
Mm,
20 because 2021 just didn't have quite enough. They just want to
yeah, it'll be on the same day as the Hawkeye finale. So we'll see. That will be essentially the first time Disney will really be competing with themselves in the way we're kind of fearing that they'll kind of cannibalize their own audience then. I'm curious if, assuming Hawkeye is actually a good show, which is still up the air, like I think it'll be like at least pretty good, because MCU stuff is usually pretty
like
good.
the bar is Falcon and Winter Soldier, which is still really good. So like
Yeah. So if the show is decent and people are excited for the finale, I'm wondering which show will actually have better ratings, the premiere of Book of Boba Fett or
oh, it's
uh
gotta. I mean, Book of Boba Fett, I think, takes it because one, Boba Fett is like top 5 most popular Star Wars characters.
yeah.
Just because.
Mm,
So it's like plus there's no because I mean this is like there's no Mando this year, but this is the same
yeah,
universe,
it's the Mando this
obviously.
year.
So they're
Mm,
basically so I mean, so it's like this is gonna have that replacement. And people want to know what's up with Boba Fett, because again, Boba Fett's
yeah.
pretty awesome, and
Yeah, and
everyone likes
how do you get out of the Sarlacc?
exactly. I'm still wondering that. Is it something cool? Absolutely. Are they gonna go with the Legends thing, or are they gonna figure their own way? We'll find out.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah,
so
it's
like
been
unless
interesting.
there is some major cameo or like something that's like something that like is super hyped that the entire show has been like building to, that's that eclipses anything in WandaVision or Falcon Winter Soldier or Loki, which I don't think can happen.
No, because
Especially Loki. Like
no,
yeah.
they can't. Because like my thing is, okay, WandaVision and Loki are both like universal like WTF moments. Falcon Winter Soldier
Mm-hmm.
is just kind of like okay, cool. So like again,
Yeah.
I don't think anyone in Hawkeye can make anything that serious happen. I think the biggest thing that might happen, they might run into like Yelena or something. But like,
There's rumors that Kingpin, like the one from Daredevil, might show up.
oh, like the
Should
Netflix
be a
game,
pretty
that
decent
would be
villain for
dope.
him. Yeah.
I would be hype about that. Because again, Kingpin has kind of been needed in this universe, which would be awesome. But
Yeah.
also,
And
we'll
like I
see.
feel like that's the right level of stakes for a Kingpin in the MCU, like the villain of a Hawkeye show. Like I feel like I don't know, him as a villain in general has always been kind of goofy to me because he's just a big guy. Like it works in I think it works in Into the Spider-Verse because they can exaggerate just how large he is. But I think in live action it doesn't quite translate as well. So him being the villain of a show, I think is the right kind of place for him to go. That makes sense.
Mm. Yeah,
Yeah.
but yeah, but we'll see. I mean, that's gonna be it's gonna be awesome, man. there's, you know what I mean? Especially when there's different quality contents that you're just like, okay, how are we gonna, you know what I mean? Like, yeah,
It's a little weird that there's not going to be any major Disney Plus content until after tomorrow, not really until late November when
right.
Hawkeye starts. Kind of taking October off. Weird.
Because we kind of thought Star Wars Visions was kind of still going to be going, but it's not. It's kind
Yeah.
of just boom. Which again, dope.
But, yeah, it is very good.
But like, yeah, again, Star Wars.
Have you seen any more of Star Wars Visions?
I haven't finished it yet, but I'm like almost halfway. But yeah, like who would have thought animated Star Wars is awesome? Who would have thought? Except everyone. Yeah. So it kind of just. So yeah, that's awesome. But I mean, yeah, man. I mean, yeah, and again, well, you know, I mean, I'm sure they can take a month off. I mean, we've got a million things on there still that, you know, people can watch. So like they'll be okay. But
yeah, plus just to kind of give us time to catch up or watch new stuff.
Yeah.
So, on other, like either on Disney Plus or other streaming services. Young Justice season 4 is supposedly still coming out this month.
That's right. I need to make a list. That's like what, the 21st or something?
28th, maybe.
28th?
It's whatever the Friday after DC Fandom is, and I don't remember what the date of DC Fandom is.
I'm pretty sure it's the 16th, right?
Maybe.
I'm like 90% sure. Yeah, October 16th. So that means the Friday after would be the 22nd. Dope.
Okay.
Okay, so that's next weekend, DC Fandom, which yeah.
Okay, cool.
All right.
Like they should be pushing that a little more. If it's like maybe I'm just not like on the right side of Twitter, but I haven't like heard anything really of it. I don't know.
I saw one like ad for it on YouTube, and that's about it. So
okay.
They had a long list of people that's going to be there, including Dwayne Johnson. So you know what that means. But I mean,
yeah,
you know, there's some interesting stuff. I know people are thinking Injustice 3 and stuff like that. So I'm like, we'll see what happens. But
yeah, I mean, the Injustice movie is coming out either on the same day or I think on the same day.
Yeah. I know that's going to be huge because everyone's like, yes. And I'm like, yeah. Yeah, sure. Will we be able to see it anytime soon? Probably not, because for some reason DC animated movies are taking their sweet time to get on HBO Max. But
yeah. Moving right on with even more superhero stuff, kind of. Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage, opened last weekend, and it made 90 million opening weekend, the highest domestic. That's domestic numbers, highest domestic numbers since COVID.
Yeah, good for them.
Yeah.
Have you
seen it?
I have, yeah.
I have not seen it.
Okay.
But I don't want I don't know if I really care about spoilers. What are your just like very brief general impressions, like good, bad, like just kind of generally, what are your feelings on it?
Pretty much the same. Woody Harrelson brings it a little bit higher, but yeah, pretty much the same. Honestly, like nothing too crazy.
So like if you watch Venom 1, don't expect them to be like, that movie was fine, but we can improve on it. Be like, we're just gonna keep doing this.
It's pretty much more the same. You do see more symbiote than I thought there would be, but it's not like you're not like blown away. It's pretty much the same kind of idea as the first movie. So
cool.
Yeah, it's not anything. It's not anything great, not anything terrible. It's kind of right in that 5 to 6 category, just because there's a little more development with the characters because it's the second movie, so that's gonna be expected.
Yeah.
But like, it's pretty much the same.
Okay, that's I guess what people want. I don't know.
I mean, it's making money, so good for them.
Yeah. Is the after credit scene a big deal?
Yeah, I would check it out.
Okay. Okay, got it. I'm gonna see it eventually. I'm probably not in theaters. So yeah, it's not one that I like. I'm not gonna like pay money to go see it, but if it's like on, if it's like, if the Sony Disney deal does actually go through and Spider-Man movies are able to come to Disney Plus next June or whatever, it comes to Disney Plus and it's just there, I'll easily watch it. But till then, I don't know if I'm gonna be out of my way to watch Venom 2, Let There Be Carnage.
Yeah, I mean the movie. Yeah, the movie. It's not one of those movies where you're like, you need to see it. It's very like, if you liked the first one, you'll like this one. If you thought the first one was okay, this one is also okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
It's not, the first one isn't terrible. I have no strong opinions one way or the other. So the bar is not high.
Nope.
We'll see if it meets it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, I think that's all the topics I actually have today. Do you have anything else you want to discuss or bring up?
I'm just happy that everything, even though like we're in October and like, how when we like, when you kind of like set out things for the year and you're like, okay, these things need to come out. And then you realize the year's almost over and everything's like right around the corner. Because you think about it, Eternals comes out like a month from today, which is like
true.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And then December is going to be wild because we've got Spider-Man and Book of Boba Fett. And while
the
we're
Matrix.
Waiting, exactly, with more Keanu, because exactly what everyone asked for, which they did. And then, October, we still got Young Justice coming out. That's going to be awesome. DC Fandom's probably going to have some more stuff. They're probably going to have more news on Suicide Squad game or Gotham Knights or everything else DC related.
Zack Snyder's Justice League 2.
Oh, don't even. To be fair, I did not see Zack Snyder's name on the long list of DC fandom peoples. So that's a thing. But
I legitimately wouldn't be surprised if he does if he is like a surprise guest or something.
I would be how would I feel about that? I'd just be like, I don't know. Like I would still be like, apparently this is what the fans want, but I would just kind of like, okay.
Yeah.
I just don't want to know. I swear, if it's another 4-hour long in grayscale movie.
Justice is Gray is such a stupid name for
that is
movie.
The worst marketing thing I've ever heard in my life.
People are like, this is the superior way to watch this movie.
No,
what are you doing? Okay. I respect a director's vision, but that vision is wrong.
I don't look. As someone who is colorblind, I can assure you it is not the superior way to look at anything. Okay? Like, it doesn't work. Not that my colorblindness is that version.
I mean, if you watch the Justice is Gray cut, then you won't be annoyed that Superman's suit is black. At least you will just pretend it's a different color.
Ooh, like that's so stupid. Like it's one thing to make a 4-hour movie. It's another thing to have an entirely gray version. Just to that is the most like, it's like so unnecessary. Like why?
Not to mention, Justice is Gray implies that the good guys are like morally not in the right, which is not true because they're the Justice League. Like, why would you? I don't know.
I mean, I feel like if that movie but like in that movie, you're not really even doing justice. They're kind of just saving the world.
No, you're right. You're right.
So that doesn't really, you know what I mean? I feel like that phrase still doesn't really apply. Like,
I don't know.
Yeah, like I feel like that's kind of more for like that would be something for like that'd be like a subtitle for like an Injustice movie or something where like justice isn't always what you think it is because maybe what they deserve, you know what I mean? Maybe the system's broken because we keep putting these criminals in jail and worse things happen, or maybe justice is actually killing villains instead of just putting, you know what I mean? That kind of makes more sense as Justice is Gray than just, hey, this alien's gonna destroy our planet, but like, let's not let that happen. I'm like, that's kind of straightforward, if you ask me. I don't think anyone would be like, I don't know, man, maybe he has a right to enslave you all. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think you really have a leg to stand on in the opposite corner. But I don't know. I think he just wanted to have more content on. He wants to put, when you want to make your resume bigger, so you add a whole other. I have 2 4-hour blockbusters on HBO Max, even though it's the same movie. But technically, they are different, so that is a thing.
I think there is like 1 or 2 scenes that are like slightly different. So
but like, I don't know. Again, in a 4-hour movie, how much is that going to matter? And also,
it doesn't.
Is it really going to change anything? No. I mean, unless they cut out certain things that make other scenes terrible. Martian Manhunter being Martha Kent for no reason other than just to be like, oh, we got this character that can do this thing.
Just to be in the movie. Yeah.
Why? And that was not beforehand. That was so done after the fact. Like, that was totally not planned before. like you can't just act like, I wanted to add this in, but like, first of all, that was the most shoehorned in thing I've ever seen. Showed up in 2 scenes, both of which did not need to exist, and
both scenes kind of made the movie worse.
The first one definitely made it worse.
Yes.
That made that entire scene pointless, because Lois had this whole heart-to-heart with this woman, and it's not even who you thought it was. So the next time they talk, she's going to be like, I'm so glad we got to discuss. And then she's going to be like, what are you talking about? And then their relationship is destroyed because they're each going to think the other's a crazy person. And we're
all thanks to Martian Manhunter.
Who had no business even talking to Lois in the first place, because nothing was gained from that conversation anyway. It's not like he used it to learn anything, nor did he help win the situation and just watch them almost lose the planet. But, he's in the movie for reasons.
Love it. But the fans might get more of that at DC Fandom. We'll see.
I don't know, man. Look, it is what it is. And again, I'm just happy there's enough DC content that I can ignore the DC stuff I don't like.
Yeah.
Because that's why I can just go and get other comics or other movies or whatever that I'm like, oh, that actually does make sense. Granted, a lot of comics don't, but I digress. But yeah, DC Fandom, it is happening. I'm still excited because more DC stuff is always a win, depending on who's making it. But I digress.
Yeah. Anything else?
That's all I've got.
Okay. So with that, we will see you all next time.
Take care, everybody.